Hello.
We're live. We're live.
Alrighty, we're live. Good afternoon, everybody. Develop Your Mindset podcast. We're back. 91. We're counting the last 10 to get to 100. This is 91. Amazing, beautiful. I hope you guys are getting really amazing places also in your life, in your journey. It's only way you can get there is just by doing and doing and doing, and don't worry about the failures. Just keep on doing because that's what it takes to get to places where you've never been, right? And the followers will come. We're still waiting, but it will come. And yeah, Louis is here with us, and say,
Yeah, I'm here. So welcome back, everybody, to another episode. And what Vari said, a very positive message there. We hope you all have been taking a lot of value from all of our previous episodes. And, if there's anything you guys want us to cover here on the podcast, you can always leave it down below in the comment section. And we'll go ahead and put something together so we can create an entire podcast surrounding that topic. But other than that, we can go ahead and get started with today's topic.
awesome. So, yeah, guys, thank you for being here. Just wanted to say this is, as usual, if you guys watch the show, you know that this is a jewelry manufacturing designer, also a retailer. We have website. Please do visit. Let us know what you think. So things happen here during the week, and we go through a lot of diversities, also a lot of situations, all kinds, and we come up with really good questions from there, and then we want to talk about it, kind of like reflect on it. Also, want to put our ideas out there, how we can do it better, what it takes, how we went through stories, examples. So that's what the podcast is. Develop your mindset. Basically, every week we are learning, we are becoming better version of ourselves, and that's we are training our minds to be better than what it was. So we're gonna continue to start and go with the first question. I feel like this week a lot happened, of course, and then we could take this to so many different directions, but this is where we're taking it a little bit in a motivational side of the things. So the first one is, best way to be unique is to be yourself. I don't know if you've heard this before, but definitely uniqueness is valuable than trying to be like something else, somebody else, or copying somebody, doing somebody does something really good, and you're trying to be like that person. And not necessarily you are designed like that. Your mindset could be a little bit different. Your thinking, your growing, everything could be very different, and you will not be able to execute that like that person. So you have to be unique, and you have to be yourself, and you have to become a better version of you all the time. Like we talk about this always, and then there's no end to this. We always have to emphasize this like every week, I guess, because I said this last week, I will say it this week again. I don't want to be the same person next week sitting here telling you guys the same words, the same way, the same thinking. That would be not good for me, because I want to grow. I want to become a better version of me all the time. And I want to be, more intelligent next week than today I am. So you have to think like that. You have to grow yourself in that manner. So basically here, this question is telling us that best way to be unique is to be yourself. Uniqueness has much more value. You have to be unique in what you do, how you do things. Obviously, in that there's different variations of it. Very short. Know your weaknesses, know your strength. Try to work with your strength more. Your weaknesses, you have to either hire people or give it out to people to do it for you, or you have to study more. You have to learn how to become a little bit stronger, better in those become stronger in those points. And being yourself is the best thing you can ever do, because no one is like you. You 7 billion, 8 billion, whatever billion out there, people are not the same. We all are different, and our uniqueness is very different than all these billions of people, right? So when you become the better, the most amazing, unique person, that's where you become uh, again valuable. So and that's what we're striving for here all the time in the company. We're trying to be our best version, and this is the thing I wanted to put out there for me, because this week was um, you know I I I did I did work. I did encounter my weak point, and I did get a lot of strength from outside, and I did allow it to come in to help me to make a big decision, and that helped me to attain something much bigger than the normal. And now I just have to work very hard and take care of that thing. So that's where this question comes from.
Yeah. So the best way to be unique is to be yourself. So I mean, yeah. So being yourself. I mean, being yourself is sort of a journey in of itself to really discover, who you really are. I think there's a lot of adversities, a lot of challenges that you will have to face throughout life that will really teach you, who you are really. And so, you can either do that proactively or you can do it reactively, where you can just wait for things to just happen to you in life, and then through those experiences you can discover yourself, or you can proactively go and put yourself intentionally in situations that will test you and really push you to see if this is going to be something that's really part of you or it's not. And so there's that aspect, and of course there's the aspect of you deciding ultimately who you want to become, because that's that in of itself will trigger some proactiveness and you discovering yourself. Because once you decide, like, okay, this is who I want to become. I want to become somebody who has these type of things, these type of people around them. This is the way I want to think, and this is the way I see the world. uh that in of itself, it'll push you to go and pursue certain experiences and do certain things that will uh guide you and pretty much give your life really a purpose to really expand upon that. And yes, ultimately, whatever it is that you pursue will in turn become something of value. And so, yeah, I think that's really what you should strive for. I think that uniqueness will really come as a byproduct of you just uh, really pursuing a different combination of things that you decide to experiment with, and ultimately they will decide who you are. And so, I think that's the best part of it. But I don't think you should like necessarily focus too much on just on the unique aspect. You should focus more on just discovering your true self, becoming the best self that you can be, and through that, I think you will acquire very unique experiences that will ultimately define you, who you are. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
Awesome. And there's a lot of noise coming from outside. Um, Nanar, can you please close the door if you don't mind? Thanks. Next is you are born original. Don't be a copy. That's another one. This is almost like a saying, right?
Yeah.
Don't be a copy. Not a good thing, because um, I think if you become a copy, you're not even going to know how to operate that program. Like, because everyone of us, we go through life and then we make small decisions, big decisions, all kinds of decisions, and that would eventually write our program. And then that's how we operate until we modify it and we change it. So if you copy somebody else's program, you're not even going to be that good, because you initially didn't create that program. And then you're going to be always like sound like that and look like that. So that's not a good decision. That's not a good thing to attain. You have to realize at a point where if you're doing any of that, you should drop it because that's not going to serve you. And then the way what it's going to serve you is originality. Now, being original, sometimes it's plain. What how do you say, like when it's not uh, doesn't look beautiful, doesn't look good, plain, like
Yeah,
plain.
plain,
Yeah, sometimes it's plain, and you just have to um, make it look beautiful. And what it takes a lot. It takes a lot of time. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort. Sometimes, and you have to pay the price for it, which is you have to start reading, you have to start listening, you have to start inserting yourself into uncomfortable places to try and see, to learn more how you interpret things. And then you have to always pay attention how you do it. And then if you don't like what you do, you probably other people don't like it either, and then you have to change. This is the road of becoming original. And yeah, don't be afraid of pushing yourself. I am not afraid of taking action, and let's call it action oriented person. There's a lot of us out there, but if you are not, you should think about it. If you are, then good, keep on making your action because that's what it's going to take. uh, Through that journey, you're gonna find your originality, and you're gonna get away from being some things copy, such as you watch some kind of show, you follow some person, you listen, you have an idol, or you are fallen into one or multiple pendulums, and those are creating your mindset. You gotta realize, recognize some of those pendulums are not destructive, they're not good. You gotta slowly come away from it and then develop your own originality. And then when you're design something that no one has designed before, and put so much effort into it to design the best that this design could come out of it, as much as knowledge is on that piece. And then during that time you might learn something new, and then you add something new to it, and then you see that's the original. And then there's no other copies like it. And just be careful when you get to that kind of level. A lot of people want to copy you, a lot of people want to take that design from your hand, and those things arises. And then you just have to be careful. If that happens, yeah, life is crazy like that. So you got to deal with it. uh, until then, try to be original.
yeah. Yeah, so you're born original, and I think that's something that really, you can't just erase that. I think you'll always be an original person. As far as like your mindset goes, I think the mindset itself, I just don't believe you can really copy somebody else's mindset entirely. You can copy some aspects for sure. And like I think there is a certain benefit to openly copying somebody if you just have no experience, you just never done something before. I think it's a easier road to take at first, as a beginner, as somebody who's never done something. Like I've personally, like with technology, like I mean, there's a lot of techniques that go into utilizing some technology. And yes, I've copied certain like techniques and methods of doing things. And eventually, I did it. I created my own like original set of way of doing things. But that came really after I learned the foundation. I went and I did what other people were doing. I understood why they do it a certain way. And once you have a core understanding of the concept itself, then that's when you can start developing more original ideas out of that. But I just think that trying to go for originality right from the start, when you don't understand necessarily the concept itself, I think that eventually it won't lead to good originality at first, but then like moving forward, I think it could obviously if you put in and the hours and the work, but definitely don't stay a copy. I mean, it's never a good thing to just be copying for your entire life and just trying to imitate or trying to be somebody who you're not. Just because you're trying to attain, perhaps you're trying to. There's always a reason why you're doing the copying. Either you want to attain the same success as the other person, you want to have the same results, the same amount of praise or status, or something around those lines. You want that compensation. So you just have to realize that there's other ways to, there's multiple paths you can take to attain the same result. If you want to like, per se, you want to become rich. There's many avenues you can take to accomplishing that. You want to become famous. You can do certain things as well for that, and there's always multiple things you can do. And really the easiest and most effective way to do it is to be original in that path and do what you think is best for you precisely, because you are an original person, and so you're gonna have to do things a certain way so that they work out just for you, and everybody else has to do their own thing so that it works out for them. And so that's really what you should be striving for.
For sure. Yeah, and then you're gonna produce the best results being you, anyways.
Yeah.
Being somebody else is not gonna cut it. Next one, different is better than being better. Better. What? Hold on. What happened? Different is better than being better. A lot of times, I used to hear, at least, maybe like 10 years ago, when I was when I was like really, really good at being jeweler, and I was doing everything a little bit different. Everybody used to say, uh, why you doing it different, and why you being different. I used to hear stuff like this. I don't remember exactly, this like 10 years ago, but I used to hear a bunch of this kind of phrases and matter, and I'll be like, what do you mean, what do you mean? I was so naive too at that time. I didn't understand what's going on. And then eventually I understood that, being different is better than being better. I'm not trying to take, like we said earlier, copy, right? Don't be a copy of somebody. Like you take this device, and then you like Samsung Galaxy, and then you try to do something better. But if you actually created this Samsung Galaxy piece, uh, this is you're much better creating it than taking it and turning into something better. Um, that's like the one before we talked about copy. You're trying to take and then make a copy of something and then do a little bit better of it. That has its own place. It has its own life expand, but the life expand is not very, very long, obviously, because everybody else is trying to knock different. It stays there, original, and then you're more valuable always, all the time. People will talk about you like you are, valuable. And this is what this means here. Basically, if you are working trying to create something, just try to definitely be your version, and be better in it. Don't be different. So yeah, that was the first word.
Yeah. Yeah, so different is better than being better. Uh, for sure. I mean, being different has its own benefits as far as like being able to separate yourself, whether you're producing something for work, or just in your personality overall. You just being a different person. It's definitely something that it's not easy as well, because you know there's uh there's gonna be a lot of like back and forth, a lot of you know the majority of people may not accept your difference, whether that's based on who you are or the work that you produce. But it's better to really stick to whatever it is that is you, whatever that different thing is, and really make it work for you as much as possible, and really stand your ground, whatever it is, because ultimately, that's really the essence of you, and so you want to keep that alive and not really get sucked into a pendulum or get sucked into something that's not you, because then while maybe the people around you may feel a little bit more comfortable with you, they may feel happier with you, at the end of the day, like, it's coming at an expense of you not feeling comfortable being there, or you not feeling comfortable with the work that you're producing. So ultimately, you want to you always want to prioritize who you are, and your core
Connection.
essence, and really deal with the whatever the consequences are for that. Deal with those, but at least you know that you're being authentic and you're being yourself 100% of the time.
Yeah, I was listening to that. Just dawned on me. Just remembered we should mention this because a lot of people are different. So we are kind of like talking about more like from developing your mindset and then becoming better version of you, or like from the business point of view. But then again, like a lot of people are a little bit different,
Yeah.
and different is good. Embrace that differentness. Different, how do you say this word, man? Different, being different, and try
Yeah.
to develop that different, being different into the best that you can ever be. And the best is always, it's an ongoing thing too, like you always work on it, and then you just work on being the best at as who you are, in your flaws, in your pluses, in your uh, being different, and work with that and try to develop that in the best version of ever. And no one is as better than you in that, being that version, so being that different. So I just wanted to say that because I realize it's like all kinds of different out there. There's like a lot of different people out there. So you can, yeah, basically you could implement this, what we're saying, into whatever that is that you're going to work on. um, Anything about that?
No. We're
Alrighty.
good.
Next one is, don't worry about being like other people. You worry about being authentic. That's another crucial, important point, being authentic. A lot of people are worried about being like other people, wear the same, go same kind of places, put their hair in the same manner, wear the same eyeglasses, and then act like certain way, use certain words. They watch some kind of show or some kind of idol or something, and then this is where um, you're not gonna shine as bright as you are meant to shine, because um, because being authentic, being you, gonna bring you the best place ever in this life, in this world. Since we don't have long time being on this planet, it's a finite of years, and you should not waste those years, not even a day, a minute of it, trying to develop yourself to become authentic and different. And you gonna be the best that you can ever be. If somebody will criticize you, don't worry about it. Take the criticism, go home and think about it, how you can make yourself better. That criticism, if it was negative, turns into positive. But other than that, don't worry about it, because you are yourself, you are authentic, and then no one's gonna be like you out there. And then some people are gonna like, some people are not gonna like. It doesn't matter. There's 8 billion people in the world. If 200 million like you, you have 200 million people liking you. So don't worry about it. Just be yourself, be authentic. Don't worry about being like other people. And other people is, we call it average, being average, because A lot of people, they take the easy road, and the easy road is the average. Being average, be unique, be authentic. Don't worry about the yeah. Don't worry about the rest of it.
Yeah, so don't worry about being like other people. Uh, yeah, I mean, obviously, like that's a very hard job to do. Really, you're gonna expend a lot of energy, time, money. If you really try to go out there and try to impersonate somebody else, because that's almost impossible because you're not them. You don't have the same mindset. You don't have the same life, the same circumstances. You weren't born under some same circumstances, and so you trying to
Mhm.
really impersonate somebody else. It really comes at a cost of you sacrificing whatever makes you authentic and special and unique. And so that in of itself is far more valuable, even if you can't really see it right now. I mean, it's normal sometimes that you get sucked into other people's ideas of what the perfect person should be, and so
Mm.
what that person should pursue. And so I think and you may be born into it where there's a lot of ideas just being thrown at you, and so you don't have any specific strategy or system to really deflect those things and filter out what you really need to listen to and what you don't. So at first you might have taken these to another level. And so I think part of you becoming who you really are is really actually uh, not only just being yourself and really going out there and trying to do like whatever feels good to you, but also start removing the things that are not authentic to you, because who knows, you may have developed habits around it, and so you may not be noticing that you're doing things that are not really authentic to you, and you may have been doing them to perhaps you want to cope with a certain situation, you want to deal with a certain emotion, so your response is automatic, it's a habit. And so you have to realize what those things are and really start removing those things from your life, and ultimately becoming your true authentic self is really about you becoming whoever you want to become in this world. And uh, I would say even removing all the labels that are out there,
Mm.
as far as like, you being who you are, winner, loser, successful, not successful. These are all just labels that, ultimately, uh, you personally should define those, and decide what do you want to do with your life. And I think there should be no judgment about that. You can decide to do whatever it is that you want to do, and whatever makes you happy and it makes you feel like you're contributing some way, somehow to the world, and you're giving your value uh, to whoever you want to. I think what you should do, though, primarily is really educate yourself and inform yourself, because that in of itself will take you in a direction where you'll become the most authentic self that you can be, as opposed to living in ignorance and just stagnating to a certain level where you may not be your fullest authentic self, and you might be partially there, but because of your ignorance and you just stagnating, you're not able to fully develop everything that you could possibly offer. You may be able to offer even more value, but because you just don't know how to do it, you're not educating yourself, you're not putting yourself in situations that can teach you things, you may not be able to expand the range of value that you can provide. So definitely that should be something that you should work on, and of course there's strategies to do that. And but yeah, pretty much.
That's the most scary word ever. Stagnation. The word you use.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You left school and you never studied, and you became 70 years old. Then you realize one day, 70 years old and 1 month, then, oh my God, if I was only studying, I would have been this person. You know, I had all these ideas and I didn't understand them. If I only studied more. Yeah, stagnation is really, it's I don't know how to say it, but it's definitely it will put you into sleep. Your dreams, your ambitions, your better version, everything. And you just have to be active all the time and always push yourself into uncomfortable places, uncomfortable zone. And if it's 2 a.m. in the morning and you can't sleep, you should study or listen to motivational things or something. So yeah, you don't want to be stagnant. That would be not so amazing. The last word, the last question: develop your mindset, because we are developing our mindsets, and that's what the podcast is. So we're gonna go with that. Develop your mindset on goal oriented. I put this in the end because I want you guys to understand that if you don't have goal, you're not gonna have a road to get to it. First, have a goal. First, know what your goal is. What is it? You wanna open a factory and you're home sitting on the couch and listening to us? You got to start imagining that you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. You got to have a roadmap, and the roadmap could change. It doesn't have to be exactly the same way you're going to get there, but you need some kind of roadmap, and you're going to know where you're going to get to, like the goal. And then once we have the goal, we work on it, and then in that journey, there's going to be a lot of micro goals, big goals, small goals, accidental goals, and things that you're forced to take action and make that goal happen, and stuff until you get to the big goal that you always want to. So I said all these words because I want you to realize that you have to be goal oriented. If you don't have goals, you're just gonna roam through life without precision, without what is the word, execution, and you're never gonna work towards becoming to the getting to your goal. So you have to be goal oriented person, and that's gonna take you exactly where you need to be. And sometimes we get there, it's a lot bigger than that we imagine. Sometimes we get there, we have to be okay with that. So I guess it all depends how much you push, how much you do more than you should, and that's gonna dictate the outcome of the result in the end when you get there. So with that, I'm gonna end, and yeah, yeah, I just don't give up, because I don't, and we don't, and you should always continue doing the best, because that's the best is always better than not anything else. And just keep on doing, and work on it, become better version of you, and just it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen multiple times until you get old. So that's amazing.
Yeah, so develop your mindset on being goal oriented. Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think you having goals and having a purpose will definitely help you, have have something to go after every single day, and definitely, I think in order to achieve that, you obviously need a strategy. And I think believer in strategy. I think strategies are definitely important when you're setting goals. Though that strategy should also contain some level of measurement, so you should always be testing that strategy to see if it's still effective. If not, you gotta make some adjustments to the strategy, and then continue on with the strategy. Of course, if there's any adversities that happen, you gotta confront those, and then continue with the strategy as well. And yeah, and so I think. But more importantly, I think it's a good idea that you stay very that you use more logic than you do any sort of emotional response when it comes to that strategy, because there's data to be collected as far as your strategy goes. And so you obviously want to be dealing with that data in a very logical way. See what's working, see what's not working, and so make the adjustments accordingly. And so don't drop things or add new things to the strategy just because you feel an emotional compulsion to do those things, as opposed to going based off data and staying and committing to the strategy all the way through until it's complete, and then you can obviously assess the results at that point. But yeah, so um, yeah, definitely oriented goals and purpose are important.
Yeah. So with that, you guys, you have anything in motivational?
Mhm.
A lot of people. I said that because like a lot of people, they lose a little bit of steam, a little bit of
Yeah.
you know go, and sometimes we all need to hear some encouragement.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you'd be better with that. I mean, I personally used to use motivation a lot, and I even used to make motivational videos in the past. But then, like, eventually, I started to move away from those and really move away from motivation too much, relying on it a lot because it's an unreliable source of really of fuel. I would say, because motivation sort of comes and goes. And I think ultimately, if you want to get stuff done and you want things to be completed, you need more discipline. You need more of, like we said, strategy, goals. You need to have those in place. That way, you know exactly what you're doing. There's no confusion. There's no like, okay, what should I do next? What's coming here and there? And so you're more prepared to deal with the challenges and the adversities that may show up, as opposed to just relying on you feeling good and like relying on like external like a boost or some sort of high energy thing or some substance or anything like that to fuel you. I'm just a big believer in like preparing ahead of time and having a strong strategy.
I just when you said that in the beginning, it reminded me of a lot of people. They go to shopping, and then 2 days later they have buyer's remorse. They take it back, their
Yeah.
stuff. Like, and that's like you're motivated, you want to buy, you get it, and then you're like, oh, what
Yeah.
did I do? Oh shit, Um, when that happens to you, uh, it's okay to take it back. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like sometimes in life, things we cannot take it back. Like you say something to somebody, you hurt them, you cannot take it back. Something like that. It's better to work on yourself to find the solution, which is if it's money, make more money, which is education to have the knowledge, the words. Maybe you need to learn about that or whatever it is. It's better to work on the resulting that situation problem than taking so to speak like taking the stuff back. The problem relies on not having enough money, not that you had purchased more. Of course, if it's a situation, it's a problem, then you probably need to work on your problem. But that's, like kind of like what you said. That's what I'm putting it in a different perspective.
I don't have buyer's remorse, man. I used to have it. No,
No more.
I don't return things
I
now.
don't have either. Like the after I do it, whatever I do in life, to me, if there's a buyer's remorse situation, let's say, the problem relies on not having enough. So I need to make more. That's where I put my efforts and energy. So, all right, I guess with that, we're going to close Develop Your Mindset podcast. And it's been amazing again. I enjoyed. This is number 91. It was beautiful. As usual, I like doing this. And hopefully, you guys enjoyed it and you're here. Watch it all the way through. And please let us know what you think about the show if you did watch all the way through. And yeah, we'd love to hear how we can make this show better, like we said in the beginning. Leave your ideas and comments down below, and then we'll work on developing this show into a better version of it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining the episode. And as always, there'll be links down below so you guys can check us out on social media. And of course, link to our book, The 10 Stages to Skill Mastery, so you guys can download the PDF or listen to the audiobook version. The link will be down below as well. And yeah, I mean, other than that, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
next week. Thank you, guys.